So, Venom: The Last Dance.
Shut the fuck up.
You're telling me to shut the fuck up? Seriously, throughout this whole movie, you wouldn't shut up. You keep yapping all the fucking time. Like, why are you telling me to shut the fuck up?
Oh, whine about it, you pussy.
Anyway, so, Venom: The Last Dance is the epic conclusion to this really fucking weird franchise.
I'm hungry.
Holy fuck. Throughout this whole goddamn franchise, you don't shut up. Why do you always yap throughout fucking in all these movies? Why didn't you just be quiet for once? Like, what the fuck?
I'm gonna punch you in the face now.
Yeah, fucking right. Anyways.
Loser.
Oh, you fucking prick, dude. Venom: The Last Dance.
Shut up.
You fucking asshole, dude. I can't stand you anymore. Can we just start the fucking review?
Okay, fine. Roll the Halloween intro, please.
Yeah, why not? Hey guys, welcome back to the Grandma's channel and welcome back to another movie review. And the movie we're reviewing today is the final movie in this franchise.
What are you trying to say?
That it's fucking weird that this franchise has a full-blown trilogy. And it's a part of a really big universe with a bunch of crazy characters like this dude, yeah, we love that guy, and these three women, yeah, it's great, yeah.
What's wrong with that?
Everything.
What?
And it's also a continuation of those very exciting post-credit scenes from Let There Be Carnage and No Way Home, with Venom being teleported into the MCU, licking the TV with Tom Holland on it, and then he's in a fucking bar all drunk and shit, and then he gets teleported back to his world, and we'll get to see what happens after that, and there'll be multiverse shit. Nah. And the movie is Venom: The Last Dance. Hugh Jackman's Wolverine, Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man, and now Tom Hardy's Venom is getting a proper, full-blown conclusion, an ending to his story. Like, what the fuck? Like, these movies are just weird. They're fucking weird movies, and it's actually getting a full-blown trilogy and a proper conclusion? Like, what kind of world am I living in? I'm not trying to be, like, overly harsh to this franchise. Like, I remember going and seeing the first Venom movie back in 2018 in cinemas, and I walked out of it and I was like, bro, the critics are so fucking retarded. Like, this movie was great. It was so much fun. Tom Hardy was awesome. The action was awesome. Like, so much symbiote shit. And then I went and saw Let There Be Carnage in 2021 in cinemas. And I was like, dude, bro, that was so much better than the first movie. It was more fast-paced. Carnage was cool. Tom Hardy was great as always. It was just a much funner movie. So going into The Last Dance, I was like, fuck it. It's the final movie in the trilogy. And I have a bit of a soft spot for the franchise, even though they could have been a lot more. They could have been so much better. But I have a soft spot for it because I went and saw the first two movies and I enjoyed them. So I went into this. I was like, let's just have a fun time. Let's, wrap up this trilogy in a fun way and just have fun with The Last Dance with Tom Hardy's Eddie Brock and Venom. And I've now seen it. So what did I think of Venom: The Last Dance? Unfortunately, this is the first Venom movie where I walked out of it and I was like, it was alright. It was yeah, I was a little, it's weird to say disappointed because all these movies are really not that good. But this is just the first one where I just walked out and I kind of was like, I didn't really enjoy it as much as the first two movies. I think I can honestly consider this to be the worst Venom movie of the trilogy. I think it's not as good as Let There Be Carnage, maybe not as good as the first movie, maybe a little bit better, I don't know, but I'm still thinking about that one. But yeah, this could possibly be honestly my least favorite of the franchise. It was a little disappointing. It still has those enjoyable moments that we all love from the first two movies, like, Tom Hardy's performance and all that, but it's just, there were other things in this movie that really pissed me off, and I'll get into that later. But for right now, let's talk about some of the good shit. I think the obvious way to start off with the positives of this movie is to talk about Tom Hardy. Yes, Tom Hardy, he's the same. He's the same old Eddie Brock and Venom we've gone to know for the past several years now. And I'd say for the most part, they do a okay job at making you kind of like, sad that this is his final movie as the character, because, a lot of people really enjoyed his interpretation of Eddie Brock and Venom, and now they're really, teasing this is the final movie with Venom talking to Eddie and be like, well, we spent 1 year together, what a ride it's been, oh, it's like, you can tell what they're doing. It's like, oh, I can see what you're doing, it's the last movie, it's sad, and then in the third act, when shit gets crazy, they try to make it a little emotional, and, with a little montage and stuff, and I thought they did an okay job at trying to make you feel sad this is the final movie. There is obviously some really funny moments and some really over-the-top wacky moments, especially with fucking Eddie and Venom going to an apartment and then meeting up with Mrs. Chan, and then as teased in the trailer they have a bit of a dance, the last dance, and Thankfully, it didn't go on for as long as I thought it was going to. It was nice and short, and it was weird as fuck, but it wasn't too long, so I wasn't too angry about that. It was weird as fuck. Surprisingly, the action scenes were also pretty well done. I mean, Kelly Marcel, this is like her first movie she's ever directed. Like, she's written all the Venom movies, and now this is her first movie she's ever directed. And I'd say for the most part, the action scenes are pretty well done, especially with Venom or with other symbiotes. They look pretty cool, especially with, you know, the water chase scene of Venom hopping onto to a fish or to a frog. You know, I thought that was a really well made action scene. That was really cool. And of course, the Venom horse, how could we forget that? So, you know, all the symbiotic, crazy action scenes were really fun, especially during the third act where, like I said, you know, possibly, you know, we get some more symbiotes, which I appreciate that. You know, they knew that this was going to be the final movie, so like, let's just go bonkers with the third act and go crazy and just have a bit of fun. And I do appreciate that. And this probably has the most tense final battle of a Venom movie that we've gotten. I mean, compared to the first two movies, I think this is the most tense. Like, the first movie, he's fighting a symbiote. The second movie, he's fighting a symbiote. The third movie, there's just a bunch of other symbiotes. It's just craziness. I think this is probably the most tense final battle to a Venom movie. So I appreciate that. And yeah, I thought the action, Eddie Brock and Venom, Tom Hardy, it was all really fun and it was well done. And surprisingly, the xenophages that Venom is going up against throughout pretty much the entire movie are kind of intimidating. Like, when you first see them, they're like, they're just kind of like generic monsters. They're not that interesting. And yeah, at first when you do see them, they kind of just seem to be that. But as the movie goes on, you can kind of tell that these creatures aren't just like, creatures that attack Venom, but there's a bunch of them and they get killed very easily. No, they're actually like pretty powerful, and especially during the third act when there's, like I said, more symbiotes, more stuff going on, they are powerful, they are strong, they are, you know, hard to take down. So every time they pop up and Venom has to fight them, it's not like, it's not that scary, it's not that intense. It's a little intense. They do a good job at making these generic looking monsters actually kind of like, you know, powerful and crazy and kind of, you know, intimidating. So there are a lot of scenes of these creatures eating up like humans, people, and then like spitting blood out of the back of its head or something. Like, that happens a lot throughout the whole movie, and I thought that was like, you know, decent violent in a PG-13 Venom movie, so that was kind of nice to see for once. And yes, I have to talk about the usage of Null in this movie. He is voiced by Andy Serkis, and I was kind of worried he was just gonna do his normal voice. He wasn't really gonna pull off like any sort of cool looking sounding voice, but no. Andy Serkis' voice as Null is scary, and it does make me excited to see if he does come back as Null. Hopefully they do, and he's not just a waste. If he does come back in the future for something, I am very excited to hear that voice again. He does a good job. He comes up with a voice, and it sounds good. And with how Null is used throughout the movie, it was about what I expected. He wasn't in the movie much. It was very much a tease, an introduction to him. We do learn about his backstory a bit, and that's about it. He's a bit of a tease in this movie, but it does do enough to, you know, let you know that this guy is powerful, and they do build him up in an okay way where it does make me interested to see him again in a future movie. So they do an okay job at building him up, but yes, no, he doesn't play a big part in the movie. He's not really in it much, and yeah, all that stuff, you know, good stuff. But now it's time to move on to the bad shit. Gotta say, besides Tom Hardy, every other character in this movie kind of fucking sucks. Juno Temple's character, really, I mean, they really try to make her character interesting, giving her a little backstory she has with like her brother when they were younger or whatever. And like they try to go somewhere with that in the end. And it was kind of cool, but it was a bit rushed and they didn't really do much with it, and it was kind of stupid. So yeah, Juno Temple's character, I mean, no offense to the actress, but her character was not interesting in the slightest. I forgot the actor's name, but he's like a military guy in this movie, and I mean, I thought there was going to be something interesting about him. I thought he was going to have some like personal like vengeance type motivation against like maybe Eddie Brock or Venom or whatever. Nope, there's nothing with this guy. He's just not interesting. He's just boring. And the actor, I mean, hey, he did a really good job. I actually enjoyed the actor. He was good. The character overall, I mean, there's nothing interesting about him in the slightest. He was just, he was whatever. The entire family, like, side of things with how do you pronounce, what was the actor, Rizzo Vaughn's character, you know, Lizard from the Amazing Spider-Man 1. Yeah, that actor is in this movie. He's not playing Dr. Kirk Connors. He's playing a entirely different character. Like, him and his whole family and stuff, his weird ass family, that's a really big thing throughout the whole movie. And I don't know why, because I really don't like this family. It's a really weird family, and all the scenes with them just kind of piss me off. And we spend so much time with them for some reason. It's so annoying. So I didn't like the family side of things in this movie. It was weird as fuck, and I couldn't give a shit about it. The one thing I really hated about the first Venom movie is the entire, like, scientific side of things. Like, you know, with spending time with Colton Drake's character and the scientists, and then that part of the movie was kind of boring to me. But in this movie, I mean, I don't know, we have Stephen Graham's character from, you know, Detective Mulligan from the last movie coming back, you know, with a specific symbiote attached to him now. He's completely wasted in this movie. I mean, I don't think it was really bad, but he just didn't do much. He was kind of trapped for the majority of the movie, and then he was just kind of wasted. So, yeah, I don't know. The whole scientific part of the movie, the family, and most of the characters of the movie were weak as fuck, and I just didn't give a shit about it. And that's about all I can say without getting into spoilers. It may not seem like a lot of issues, but trust me, these issues are a big part of the movie. The family stuff, didn't care about. The scientific side of things, didn't care about. Pretty much all of the side characters I didn't care about, and they played a major part in the movie, and it really took away the fun of this movie. And that's why I kind of consider Venom: The Last Dance to be the worst Venom movie compared to the first two. But there is still fun to be had. Tom Hardy is still good and fun as Eddie Brock and Venom. The emotional parts near the end are done pretty well. The xenophages are pretty cool and intimidating. The CGI is decent. The whole final battle is crazy, and pretty much all of the action scenes are done pretty well. And there is still fun to be had, especially if you are a fan of the first two Venom movies. There are still things to have fun with. But overall, this film is a bit of a mess. But hey, you might still check it out and consider it as a weird, deranged, but satisfying conclusion to this random-ass trilogy. So would I recommend you go see Venom: The Last Dance? Well, if you enjoyed the first two movies and you've seen them, then you might as well check this out and just witness how it all ends, I guess. But if you don't like these Sony Marvel movies or any of the Venom movies, completely skip this. Like, avoid it. Just completely skip it. But if you have a bit of a soft spot for the Venom movies, kind of like what I did, and you kind of enjoy them, then go ahead, witness The Last Dance. Why the hell not?
I always remember you.
And that's going to be the end of my review of Venom: The Last Dance. What a random, pointless-ass trilogy that we all had fun with. But yeah, it was very pointless, and it kind of had to come to an end eventually. But I had fun. Thank you, Tom Hardy, for the good fun. Appreciate it. So yeah, thank you for watching my review of Venom: The Last Dance. Well, what did you think? Let me know down below, and I will see you guys in the next video. And well, I guess that's it, buddy.
What do you mean?
Well, it's the end of your trilogy. You're done. It's over. Your franchise is finished. How do you feel?
No, it will never end. No, it shall not end.
Well, that's too bad, buddy, because it's over, and well, I mean, I have to say it.
Don't you fucking say it.
Rest in peace to the Venom trilogy.
I'll always remember you like a child girl. Oh, baby, it's a wild world.
You fucking die. You'll never fucking end. The Venom franchise will never fucking end. This is not the fucking Last Dance bullshit. What the fuck?
I'll always remember you like a child.